Listen, anybody deny this guy is the GOAT anymore? I don't think anybody would deny it. Not only is he the greatest light heavyweight ever, he looks like the greatest heavyweight ever, too.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jon Jones is the GOAT of ducking. There, I said it. I said it. He is. He blatantly is. Name another MMA GOAT who has ducked more times than Jon Jones has. I'm waiting. When DJ ducks somebody like this, huh? When GSP ducks somebody like this, huh? You can't. We can't come up with a time where any person, any champ who was considered the GOAT and say they were ducking somebody. Who did Prime Usman duck? Huh? What about Stipe? I don't understand how the fuck Jon Jones gets away with this bullshit. Because he does, like, much less his antics outside of fighting, the shit he says, I don't understand how the fuck he gets away with this shit. Because how the fuck are you going to say that Tom hasn't done anything to prove that he is worthy of a title fight with you? He's the interim champ, the #1 contender. He has finished 6 out of the 10 top heavyweights, and this motherfucker hasn't even seen the 3rd round. He hasn't seen the 3rd round in the UFC as of yet. His only loss is when he broke his fucking leg. Not because of what anything Blades did, was because, for one, it was injured going into that fight, and 2, Blades didn't do shit to that leg to cause it to just snap. It was literally it was a freak accident. John was gonna be like, oh yeah, Tom's lucky his leg broke. It's like the best thing that could have happened to him in that fight because he was getting touched up by Curtis. First off, no, the fuck he wasn't. Curtis landed nothing meaningful. And 2, I'm pretty sure Tom still outstruck him, which is crazy work, by the way. And, you know, as we all know, that went to backfire bad. Ended up finishing Curtis in a fucking minute. And another thing, people talking about, oh yeah, who has he fought? Fought a bunch of bums. Like, so Volkov's a bum? So Curtis Blades is a bum? So Sergey, especially at that time, is a bum? When he was on a winning streak, knocking niggas out, and then he fought Tom, caught him with a hook. Tom ate that shit and flatlined him. Volkov's a nobody. The guy who will go on to beat Sergey in a clear decision. Curtis Blades, who was like a gatekeeper of the top 5. Nobodies? Oh, is it because they haven't defeated an old ass legend? Which isn't even true. And also Volkov knocked out Overeem. So you can't even, like, that's not even true. What else does he need to do? Fight Rosenstrike, Almeida, and Gane? For one, Rosenstrike sucks. He sucks. He's not that good. Tom would finish him quicker than he finished Blades. Almeida got fraud checked by Blades. Bad. Exposed that motherfucker. Killed his hype immediately. Ciryl Gane has been ducking Tom for years. They should have been fought, but they didn't. Know why? Because Ciryl Gane ducked him. That's why. Tom even called him out. But he hasn't done nothing yet. He hasn't done nothing. John, compared to him, you haven't done nothing in the heavyweight division. All you've done is beat Gane, who has no ground game to speak of. Ciryl Gane's ground game is way more non-existent than Alex's ground game. It doesn't exist. It's not there. Ciryl Gane, the same guy who almost got fucking chinned by Tai Tuivasa. Oh, yeah. Clearly, your accolades at heavyweight are better than Tom's. And for the people who dick ride his light heavyweight career, need to stop it. For one, it is one of the most fraudulent, overrated careers in the UFC. Period. Those old ass legends he beat, I'm sorry. Other than DC and maybe Rampage, those wins aren't as good. I'm sorry. Other than DC, both fights in which he cheated, and Rampage, maybe Rampage. The other legends he beat, bro, they are not as impressive as like him beating them in their prime. I'm sorry. Y'all motherfuckers need to face the facts. Y'all Jon Jones fans need to come back into reality and hold Jon to the same standard that you hold these other fighters that you dislike to. Y'all gotta keep that same energy with Jon Jones like y'all do with, say, Islam and Peheda, and even Israel to a certain extent. Y'all gotta keep that same energy, especially when y'all talking about fighters' age. Y'all gotta stop. Because if we're being so fucking for real, the legends he beat, Jon's was younger than, bigger than, taller than, had a way more freakish reach than them, and was probably on PEDs when he beat them. Y'all gotta face facts. Jon Jones is not the GOAT. If he was the GOAT, a GOAT wouldn't have to cheat. Even though he really didn't need to, because he had the genetic advantages to beat them. And obviously the skill. But Jon Jones did not need PEDs to beat these people. Maybe DC, because DC definitely had the size and strength advantage on him. But Jones was taller than him, and probably didn't have nearly as bad of a weight cut to do than DC. And also Jon was way younger than DC by a lot. In fact, the age gap between him and DC is bigger than the age gap between him and Tom currently. Let that sink in. The age gap between him and DC when they fought is bigger than the age gap between him and Tom right now. And it's just like the perfect. It's so ironic that Jon Jones, who's most of his career, he's fought people like older than him. He's always been the younger guy. But as soon as the tables turn on him, all of a sudden, he don't want him no more. Can't call yourself the baddest man on the planet if you're not willing to beat the best of the best. Don't get me wrong. I love Stipe. Yes, he's the heavyweight GOAT for now. But he ain't in his prime anymore. He's way past that. He's coming off of a brutal KO loss almost 4 fucking years ago. There are dead fighters who have a more relevant and recent win than Stipe. Stipe is old and out of his prime. Way out of his prime. He was really getting out of his prime once he lost to Ngannou. Let's be fucking for real. He is way past it. And for the people who are going to use the argument that Dana used, talking about, oh, but what about Stipe? Yeah, what about Stipe? Now you care, Dana? Now you care. After disrespecting Stipe for most, if not all of his career, disregarding him, shitting on him in favor of others, but now all of a sudden, pretty much feeding this nigga to Jon on a silver platter. Oh, now he gets the respect that he deserves. Now it's the time to do that. Not before, when he was going against all odds, actually winning against people who he shouldn't have won against, but he did. But now it's time for him to get the respect he deserves. Okay, y'all. Okay, sure, pal. Now he gets the respect he deserves. It don't make sense. The math isn't mathing. And another thing, Jon Jones compared Tom Aspinall to fucking Johnny Walker. Even when Johnny Walker was on his winning streak, you can't compare that to Tom at all. For one, Tom never got chinned. For two, most of Johnny Walker's wins on that win streak were not top 5 guys. The only time he went against a ranked opponent, like a higher ranked opponent, he got fraud checked and chinned and knocked the fuck out. I'm sorry, y'all. They're not the same. The only way that you could even come close to making that comparison is if Johnny Walker fucked up half of the top 10. He didn't. In that entire win streak, he didn't. Once he went up against a high-ranked guy, he got fraud checked badly. Meanwhile, Tom's over here wrecking through most of the ranked guys, top-ranked guys, in like the first round, most of them. He's never with the distance in the UFC yet. But yeah, those clearly the same comparison. Yeah, all right. Yeah. Hell, Tom got hit by Sergey Pavlovich, and he ate it and flatlined him. I don't understand it. How isn't Tom worthy of a title shot? Who else does he have to beat? What else does he have to do to prove that he's worthy. It's not like he's as young as you were when you started out. Stop acting like he's some fucking uppity, newcomer. He isn't. He's been in the sport for a minute now. He's proved that he can hang with the best of the best. What else does he have to prove to you? He is the defending interim champion. Interim champion. By default, you have to fight him after you're done with Stipe. Don't try to go for an easy win like Alex. And we all know why he wants to fight Alex more than Tom. Because Alex, as far as we know, doesn't have much of a ground game. He might have it in his bag. He just chooses not to because he would prefer to strike. But Alex, as far as we know, does not have the ground game, especially at the level that John has, or anybody, or any of the other wrestlers he's fought had. He just wants an easy win of a very credible name and a big money fight. And I get it. You want money. I understand it. But this isn't that type of sport. It shouldn't be, at least. This is about proving that you're the best of the best. And last time I checked, this ain't boxing. You can't cherry pick your fucking fights, John. But he's but for the longest time he's been going up against the best of the best. The fuck he has. When he went against somebody his own, who was around his age and around his size, other than like fucking Anthony Smith. Because, Anthony Smith, he was looking quite beatable. As a matter of fact, let's just say how it is. Dominic Reyes fucked him up bad. He fucked him up for 3 rounds straight. And don't use the fucking Joe Rogan logic of, if you're on top beating up the guy, even though you got your ass beat for most of the fight, that means you won him. The fuck it doesn't. Though that last couple of minutes where, I look like I'm kind of winning the fight. That if for the majority of the fight I was losing, that doesn't mean I beat his ass. That means I was able to survive and get a couple good hits in. That doesn't mean you won the fight. I'm sorry. That just sounds like some serious cope. I am sorry. Last time I checked, 3 is greater than 2. Stop acting like this is a fucking street fight. This is a sport. There are rules, and that is that. Cry about it. Went to a split decision with fucking Thiago Santos, whose legs you pretty much destroyed. And you took him to a split decision. Arguably lost the first fight to Gustafsson. Fuck that. I'm bringing up Anthony Smith. You took Anthony Smith to a decision? Anthony fucking Smith? What? Anthony fucking Smith to a decision. Okay, pal. Your best win is a fight in which you cheated. Both fights. That's DC. Both fights you cheated. PEDs. That's your best win. A win you cheated in. Let that sink in. That's crazy. That's crazy work. And people call him the GOAT. If you want to really be considered the GOAT, why you gotta cheat? If you believe that you are the best of the best, why you gotta cheat? Huh, John? Why did you cheat? Why'd you take the PEDs if you knew you were the best? I don't get it. The math isn't mathing. I'm sorry. No, fuck that. Why do people consider him the GOAT when he's cheated probably more than anybody else in the sport, save Vitor Belfort? I don't understand that. How? He's failed more drug tests than anybody. But people turn a blind eye to that. People turn a blind eye to the fact that most of the legends he's fought, he was bigger than and younger than by a lot. Well, no, he's clearly the GOAT. I mean, look at all the legends he's beat. The fucking old ass middleweights he's beat. Oh yeah, sure, pal. Sure. Stop trying to cope and use his wins at light heavyweight to justify why he can do the shit that he does at heavyweight. 2 different weight classes, big man. 2 different weight classes. Get his meat out your mouth. Be realistic. Tom has done everything he needs to deserve a title shot. People want to talk about, but the Stipe fight was already scheduled and John got injured, which is true. But a lot of things happened in that time. An interim champ became a legitimate contender in Tom, which, by the way, Tom was already a fucking contender back when Francis was champion. But the whole shit with Francis went down, and Tom pretty much had to put his career on hold because Gon wasn't gonna fight him. He called out Gon, and Gon didn't say shit. Gon didn't want the smoke. That's just being for real. Tom should have been got a title shot. This shouldn't even been like a debate. People forget that Tom, most of his top 5 and top 10 wins came before he even became the interim champ. Other than Sergey and Curtis, the other top 10 and top 5 opponents he's beat was before he became interim champ. Hell, I'm pretty sure that was before he even injured his leg. Y'all Jon Jones fans gotta face facts. Jon Jones is the king of ducking. He is. He's the king of ducking. This is one of the most pathetic and blatant ducks ever. And this is even the first time Jon Jones has done this. Which leads me to my next point, Jan Blachowicz. He ducked the shit out of Jan. Let's be real. Y'all looked at this nigga at like when he was in the crowd, in his face. Jon recognized him, and all of a sudden Jon just disappeared. Took 3 years off. And people want to say, "Oh, he had a shoulder injury." Motherfucker, unless that surgery got botched, that injury only excuses like 9 months at absolute most. At absolute most. Unless that surgery got botched, which to my knowledge don't seem like it did. I'm sorry. And then there was he was just bulking up to heavyweight. If I recall, at the time, Jon Jones said he walks around 220 when he was a light heavyweight. He is currently 235 or 238, and he said it himself. He's on a lighter side of the heavyweight division. It took you 3 years to bulk up to heavyweight, and when he weighed in, he was like 240 something. It's not like 3 years to get to that. 3 years. Was it that, or hear me out on this one, or was it a big African problem in the room? That being Francis. Yeah, let's just put 2 and 2 together. He ducked the shit out of Francis. And people gonna be like, "Oh, but he said, yeah, show me the money, show me the money." Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Before Dana started egregiously dick riding him, he said it best. Show me the money normally means you don't really want to fight him. Let's be real. And you want to know what I think? If Francis didn't evolve and become way more well-rounded and he just stuck to being like the Ooga Booga power fucking haymaker man, I feel like Jones would have fought him. I feel like he would have fought him. If Francis didn't reveal that he was way more well-rounded, I feel like Jones would have fought him. Because he knew all he had to do was just wrestle him, get him down, and Ngannou couldn't do that much. But nah, since Ngannou learned how to wrestle and is infinitely more well-rounded than he used to be, all of a sudden, oh no, I don't know, man. It gotta take some more time to bulk, you know? It's like, yeah, right, bro. All right, bro. Just say you scared. Just say you scared, bro. It's all right. It's okay to be scared of somebody like Francis. It's Francis. Bro walks around at 290 something, almost 300 pounds, lean and athletic. It's okay. All right. It's all right to be scared. It don't make no sense. It doesn't add up. It does not add up. And like, don't even get me started on not giving Dominic Reyes his rematch. I was like, all right, bro, we get it. You're a duck. You're a duck, bro. It's okay. But oh no, he's still the GOAT. Oh, my bad, guys. He's still the GOAT. It's like, all right, cool. What? The GOAT of PEDs, the GOAT of ducking. Sure. If we get performance enhancing drugs involved, sure. Yeah, he's the GOAT. Sure. And I'm not even just talking about the picogram shit. I'm talking about the low test levels, the Clomid. You can't. There's no other way of justifying that other than castration or being a woman. That is literally it. Either he transformed into a female or he chopped his nuts off or got it chemically castrated. But that's y'all GOAT, bro. All right. And don't even get me started on his his antics outside of the ring, because holy fuck, the amount of people who keep saying, "Oh no, Jon changed. He's a good person. Everyone deserves a second chance." Y'all say that, but bro, this isn't even his second chance. This is like his fucking third or fourth chance. How many chances are we gonna get before we just publicly say he's an asshole? I don't get it. How many chances are we gonna give this motherfucker? How many are we actually gonna give him before we start saying, no, he's just a piece of shit? I thought it would have been that, beating his wife, or, the DUIs, or, running over a pregnant lady, or all the hard ass drugs he's been doing. But no, he's a good guy. He changed, clearly changed. He's religious now. Posting Bible verses on Instagram don't make you religious, big man. I'm sorry. That's not how that goes. That's not how that goes. You can't be talking about, oh yeah, my faith. But then there's fucking recent videos of you drunkenly going to comedy clubs and acting a damn fool and acting a bit. Won't get into that right now. You can't use that card. We're past that. You can't. That's disrespectful as fuck to claim to be all about, getting more in tune with my faith and then doing stupid shit like that. You should be ashamed of yourself. And anybody trying to defend these actions should also be ashamed of themselves. Because what the hell? How can you genuinely call this guy a good person? I'm sorry. He's not. He's a piece of shit. He's a cowardly duck who isn't the GOAT. He shouldn't even be put in the conversation anymore. I'm sorry. It's getting out of hand. It was already out of hand before, but this is ridiculous. Holding up an entire division like this, blatantly ducking the #1 contender, is crazy. How you gonna say this shit about, oh yeah, he needs to keep proving himself? Well, you won't let him prove himself. You are the champ. You are the top of the division right now. Fight Tom after Stipe, so he can prove himself. You dumbass. Bro, Tom is defending an interim belt. An interim belt. Do you know how many times an interim belt has been successfully defended? You can count that shit on one hand. He's defending an interim belt. And he has and like, you better hope like Stipe doesn't just fucking become Saitama and like fucking kill your ass and start your ass. You better hope it stays like how it is with, you know, the old guy's normally gonna lose to the younger guy, because it's gonna be very embarrassing for you. You already stained your legacy as is. You can't play the legacy card right now. At all, actually, when you're blatantly ducking this badly. This is a thorn in your legacy, even if you beat Stipe. I'm sorry. And even when you do beat Stipe, it's just like, bro, he's old. He's not in his prime. How can you claim that as a legacy fight? I know Stipe is a heavyweight GOAT, but he is out of his prime. He's done. Doesn't even do MMA full time anymore. He's a firefighter. Probably got Antonio Brown levels of CTE. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And it's just so fucked, bro. Because Tom legit deserves it, bro. He put in the work to deserve a title shot. But unfortunately, he's going, like, his champion of his division is one of the most whiny, bitch-made fighters ever. And it sucks, because Tom legit deserves it. And for the people talking about he doesn't have a fan base outside of the UK, you're a casual, and you need to stop talking. You genuinely need to stop talking. You don't know what you're talking about. Because there's been a lot of non-UK fans saying that Tom deserves this. I'm sorry. That is copium, and you need to stop. You look like a fool. But anyways, that's it. That's all I gotta say. Jon Jones, you are the king of ducking. You're the GOAT of ducking. And if you do fight Aspinall, he's gonna fucking start your ass. That is all. Thank you. Goodbye.